Thanks for taking time to watch our peer-to-peer presentation by NICA. I would like to cover an area that we don't think about very much, and that's COVID and the living quarters or the bunkhouses. Here we have several nice-looking bunkhouses, all varieties of shapes and sizes. We've got fifth wheel, we've got bumper hitch. This is our own personal bunkhouse, which I'll be making some reference to a little later on. About a year ago, we were introduced to this funny looking rumble ball that looked like something our kids played with several years ago. Little did we realize how it would change our lifestyle. As business owners, we scrambled to find ways to open. Health departments required plexiglass, which became very hard to put up and work around our windows. And of course, then we were required to wear a mask, which we still are today. And of course, we were starting to take temperature probes. This was a daily occurrence, sometimes an hourly occurrence if you had an issue. Most all employees that reside in the bunkhouse are considered essential workers to us. They help move the show, they help move the equipment, they're there for setup, they're there for teardown, and unlike pickup help that you can send home if they become sick, these folks call the bunkhouses their home. There are several types of bunkhouse rooms. We've got the double bunk beds. We've got some who are fortunate enough to have single rooms. And then we got the Z-style bunk, where you have your own room, but you're kind of sharing it, but not the airspace. Most of these rooms are 50 to 85 square foot, so it's easy to violate someone's airspace. Our company developed some tough bunkhouse rules before we turned into work in January. We were faced with the dilemma of one getting sick and the outcome affecting the whole crew. We met with the crew and together came up with some rules. Our crew stayed within their group, and it was through the day and after work each night. They didn't wander from bunkhouse to bunkhouse or from joint to joint. They would go to the store as a group and return back to the bunk and remain there the rest of the evening. Everyone watched out for everyone, knowing that the virus was very contagious. It was decided, and this was decided among the crew, if a member went out in the town for an evening of bar hopping, they didn't need to return to the bunk or work. They could go get a hotel or go elsewhere, but not allowed back at the bunk for at least 5 days. Our bunkhouse is a little unique, and we did design it ourselves. There's 3 AC units on the bunk, and there's 2 roof vents for each bathroom. There's 2 air conditioners that control the back 8 rooms. As you can see here, we got a diffuser box that diverts the air into each room separately. This allows air only into the room, with the intakes being up in the ceiling of the bunk. Our bunkhouse sleeps 12. It's got 8 rooms. They're all Z-type rooms, which means we have an over and under in each, and we've got one on each side of the bunk, but it's an over and under room. We have 2 double bunks. We have 2 full bathrooms. It's a 48-foot fifth wheel, and it does have about a 4-foot cargo area. So our first spot out this year, we limited the amount of people we put in the bunkhouse, so to the half of its capacity. We had 2 in each section of the bunkhouse, and realized each section of the bunkhouse runs off of its own AC, and the ACs aren't in any way linked together. So we felt like if we did have an issue with ventilation, we weren't affecting the whole crew, maybe we were just affecting one other guy. And I'm fortunate to say, as of 7 days after the fair is over, we're good. We did have a plan in place if one of our employees did contract COVID. We were fortunate enough at that time to have another bunkhouse on the lot in West Palm Beach, and was decided we would go to the fair management if needed, and we would hook that unit up and kind of use it as our quarantine unit. You know, we couldn't really send the guys home. We couldn't send them to a motel if they were sick. But we had the obligation to come up with a plan, and that's what we elected to do. You know, we're facing some trying times right now. COVID's been harder on our industry than probably any other industry there is. Our employees have been off for a year. We've been off for a year. We're going to ask these guys to come back to work, and we're going to have to put some requirements in place when they come back to work. We're going to have to set the example of keeping it safe, prove to the community that we can keep ourselves safe, and that our employees are all in good health. You know, no one's going to look out for us. The government. I'd like to close with a few pictures of the fair as we know it. The rides that are in place, the kids showing cattle, the smiles it brings to folks. How about the scream of a concert? Nothing quite better than that. It's up to us to bring safety to these folks so they can go back to enjoying what they enjoy and we can go back to doing what we love to do. Please be safe. Have a great day. Thanks a lot.